a pretty awesome session, and I'm going to give the floor to Morgan.
Thanks, Mike. No, I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about the effectiveness of direct mail, which is a very powerful and impactful tool, and how you can really skyrocket the results that you would see from a traditional direct mail campaign by integrating digital. I also want to equip you with a lot of information and content on just what is effective in marketing in general. And of course, I am definitely going to be touching on a product that we call Hypermail, but you can utilize some of these technologies on their own without Hypermail. But the point is that when you integrate digital marketing into your direct mail, you can achieve exponentially higher results. You know, we're talking about the perfect marriage between direct mail and digital, which is fantastic because we are all diversifying our marketing these days, and we very well should be. You know, like Mike said, we don't want to put all of our eggs in one basket, but really having a tremendous suite of products all encompassed under one roof and at one of the most cost-effective price points on the market is where the Hypermail product really comes in. But I want to just talk today in general about integrating digital into your direct mail to get better results. But who am I? I'm Morgan DiGiorgio. I am a technology partner for Hypermail, for High Note, and the go-to guide for solutions pertaining to that platform. I have over 18 years of professional experience in various business sectors, where I was positioned in several leadership roles in business development, operations, marketing, sales, and I'm also a partner in a technology-based medical company. I have BFS in business administration and management. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I am a subject matter expert for marketing solutions that drive high response and results. So first things first, I want to talk about direct marketing and why it is even more important today than it has ever been before. When we look at the current climate and what we've been experiencing with the economic downturn as a result of COVID, we've been dealing with a more restrictive marketing budget. And direct marketing is the way to go. Trimming off all of the fat from our marketing budget. We're not just running, these rampant exposure-based marketing campaigns. We're being very specific about who we are delivering our messaging to. And then we utilize direct marketing to deliver that message to those people. And direct mail is one of the most powerful tools to utilize with a direct marketing approach. It also happens to be one of the highest yielding response rated marketing channels that there are. On average, a person sees over 2,900 marketing messages a day. Wow, that is a lot. So what are we doing with our marketing to stand out from the crowd, right? And that's why direct marketing is so effective, because we are delivering an impact specifically to a very specific person. But why is integrating digital so integral into our direct mail? Well, think about it. If an individual is seeing over 2,900 marketing messages a day, the more impressions that you can deliver to your target audience or to your direct mail recipient, the higher your chances are that you're going to make an impression with them, and that you're going to give them ample opportunity to engage with you. It's not going to get, lost in the sea of 2,900 marketing messages. So our first go-to, when we're dealing with a restrictive marketing budget is email marketing, okay? And email marketing is a fantastic channel to utilize, but primarily where you're going to see the most success with it is when you're dealing with your house list. If you're utilizing it as a way to continue to deliver messages to people that are already doing business with you, or you want to let them know about certain promos that are coming up for the people that are already doing business with you, that is an effective tactic to utilize. It does not yield as high a response if you're utilizing email marketing for prospecting or acquiring new business. And the reason why is because on average, people see about 620 emails a week. And if they're anything like me, when I go into my email inbox, the first thing I'm doing is delete, 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 delete. The average human attention span is a mere 8 seconds. So it takes a lot less cognitive effort to process direct mail than it does digital marketing. So if I'm not necessarily expecting or looking for an email, from someone that I'm used to doing business with, it typically isn't on my radar. And again, email marketing is not a bad channel, but it is saturated and it is convoluted. If we look at response rates for different channels, we can see that direct mail outperforms digital tenfold. I hear a lot, well, yeah, I've heard how effective direct mail is, but it's really expensive, Morgan. Well, it may be, but when you're looking at the cost of a marketing channel, you need to look at the response. Because when I see that I would have to do exponentially a lot more digital marketing to achieve the same results that I would get from direct mail, it's really not more expensive, right? Now, this is one of my favorite articles because it's very rare that we hear any business leader or someone that's in charge of the bottom line really falling on their sword or attributing a reduction in sales to any one thing. You know, typically we might get some kind of fluff response. Well, you know, we experienced a slight reduction in our sales, but we're going to do X, Y, Z, and we're going to have a bang out next quarter. Well, Eric Nordstrom actually attributed a reduction in his sales to his decision to actually cut his direct mail marketing budget. He slashed his direct mail from his engagement with his loyalty customers, and as a result, it led to a huge reduction in foot traffic and then a huge reduction in his sales. So when we think about direct mail or we're thinking at what are we going to be cutting out of our marketing budget, you know, maybe direct mail was the first thing to go because it was perceived as being the most expensive. But unfortunately, apparently it seemed that it was also the most effective, and it really had a negative impact on his overall sales. So direct mail is a very powerful tool. 56% of people think that print marketing is the most trustworthy of all communication channels. It's tangible. You know, 92% of direct mail is open. When I go out to my mailbox every day, I look at every single piece of mail that I get, right? The median return on investment is 29% compared to online display of 16%. And people are more likely to respond to communication that feels personal. You know, it's tangible. It's in the tangible universe. And believe it or not, all ages respond to direct mail, even millennials. Millennials have a very high response rate to direct mail, and it also pairs very well with digital marketing. But we talk about how effective direct mail is as a marketing tool. And, you know, when we think about how people respond to marketing, MIT did a study and they show that 90% of people are going to go online. And that's how I respond, right? I can get a direct mail piece. I can hear a radio commercial, see a TV ad. A friend of mine can say, oh my gosh, you have to look into this product. And the first thing that I'm going to do is Google them and go to the website. And that is how 90% of people are responding. And that's fantastic. We get them on our site, we've got their attention, and they're running their due diligence. However, Google Analytics shows that 96% of those people are going to leave our site without doing what we want them to do. And what I want them to do is convert. I want them to get their credit card out, add to cart, or at the very least pick up the phone and call me. But 96% of people are not converting, and they're not even at the very least filling out a web form so that I know that they're interested. And if they are savvy shoppers like me, when I leave your site, I am going to your competitors because I want to see what businesses out there are providing the same product, services, and what their price points are. I could spend 30 minutes on Amazon looking at a similar product, just reading the reviews to see, hey, who has better reviews? What's higher quality? And I'll even pay a little bit more for something if it's perceived to have a better reputation or higher quality. And that's what our customers are doing also. So it is so integral that we have a cost-effective and very effective in terms of results follow-up plan. We know what an impactful tool direct mail is. We know it will drive traffic to our site. But we need to follow up with those people over and over and over again to ensure that we give them as many opportunities as possible to engage with us, but also drive them back to us. Because a portion of our marketing, whether we like it or not, is driving traffic to our competitors. And if we're not talking about like buying a pair of shoes, something that really takes some consideration, like maybe to put a loved one in a long-term care facility, or, purchase a home or something like that, you are really going to need to get up into these higher contact margins or address your prospects as many times as possible to increase your likelihood of getting the business. Tracking is super important, okay? I want to know where every single one of my marketing dollars is being spent, and I want to know how it's performing. I want to know, am I getting a high response here? Are people engaging on my ads here? Even if they're not, that's okay, because there is not a perfect science to marketing. There are so many variables that occur in a marketing campaign. How good is your list? How good is the call to action? How good is the graphic? What time of year is it? What way is the wind blowing? But I need to know, am I getting a low click-through rate on this ad? Okay, great. I'm glad that I know that. Now I'm going to make some adjustments so that I can get a higher response with my next campaign, right? Or this is performing really, really well. I'm going to leave that alone. But having access to the data is where the value is at for me, so that I know what needs to be modified or left the same, so that I can continue to have the highest and best use of my marketing dollars. Repetition is crucial to marketing success. It does not matter what marketing channel that you are utilizing, repetition and consistency is the name of the game. You would not hear a radio commercial aired just one time. In fact, you probably wouldn't see a billboard go up and come down in the same day, right? That would be silly. So what gets lost in translation with direct mail? I can't tell you how many times I've heard, oh yes, I know how effective direct mail is, and I just want to mail one time, just once, to a very small list. Now, I'm not saying that you will not get results. You will, because direct mail is a powerful tool, but you are merely scratching the surface of the kind of results you could get if you engage that channel the same way that you engage all of your other channels. And what I mean by that is with repetition and consistency. And Bed Bath & Beyond is probably the perfect example for the utilization of repetition in direct mail. The image is always the same, the graphic is always the same, and it always shows up in my mailbox. I can anticipate getting my 20% off Bed Bath & Beyond coupon. But the reason for this is as follows. You mail one time, you're going to get certain people to respond. Even if you mail to the same list, the second, third, fourth time, you're going to get different people to respond every time you mail. But repetition and consistency is what drives success. Integrating personalization into your direct mail campaigns is huge. And what I mean is it can be even something very simple, such as utilizing their first and last name, as opposed to new homeowner or current resident. If you put John Smith on a mail piece, or you utilize technology where you can actually see what web pages your prospects were on, so that you can send them a direct mail piece that's tailored specifically to them and what they're interested in, it will exponentially increase the likelihood of you getting a response. Nearly 80% of consumers are more likely to do business with a company that offers a personalized experience. For instance, hey, let me make a recommendation on a product for you based on your past purchase history, right? And 52% of consumers would share personal data in exchange for product recommendations. And 78% of consumers only engage in offers that have been personalized to their previous engagements. And that's because, again, we're seeing 2,900 marketing messages a day. I want to be marketed to about products that are relevant to me and that are in alignment with my likes and my interests. And 78% of people feel the same way. Integrating content marketing is a really effective tool. So content marketing is where you're offering something of value to someone in exchange for their contact information. And this works better than 500 free, 20% off. You don't necessarily have to devalue your product or service to get someone to respond. If you're an AC company, hey, put in your contact information to download 20 tips and tricks on how you can save over 20% on your electric bill this year. Content marketing, something that somebody is going to perceive as having some kind of value to them, and it's educational. and people are most likely to respond to that type of marketing. Integrating video into your customer journey is huge. YouTube actually has the highest number of user audiences of any platform, and they're 100% video. And when we think at response rates in terms of digital ads, video achieves around a 1.84% response rate, as opposed to around a 0.007 click-through rate on a display ad. So video is tremendous. If you're engaging in social media marketing even, utilize video. A quick, short, simple video, and that will exponentially increase your response. When we are delivering our marketing, we want to be talking about what our unique selling proposition is. What differentiates us from our competitors? What do we do better than anybody else? And this really should be highlighted on your marketing material, and this is what you're delivering to your customer. Why should I do business with you over any of the competitors in the market? And we have the best customer service is not a unique selling proposition. Who you are marketing to is huge. 65% of marketing is who you are marketing to. So it all starts with an effective list acquisition with direct mail. And we actually have a technology where we're able to identify who your unique website visitors are, or people that are actually going to your website and basically raising their hand and saying, hey, I'm interested. I am on your website searching for your business products and service. There is nobody more qualified to be marketed to than somebody that is actively on your site. And when you think about this, say that I am a dance school, right? So when I'm going to send out a direct mail campaign, I want to purchase a list of families in a certain geolocation, maybe a 10-mile radius of my school that have school-age children and preferably girls, right? Well, that's great. I'll probably get a decent response rate from that. But how do I know that those families are even interested in putting their little girls in dance? Maybe they're tomboys and they like softball, or they want to go play soccer, right? But I'm going to have a much higher response if I'm actually scraping a list of people that are on my site actively looking for a dance school, and I market to them. 65% of marketing is who you're marketing to. Make sure that you are delivering the right message to the right people. Engage and trigger emotion. The number one emotion that actually solicits a response is fear. And I'm not talking about, intimidating fear in our prospects, but fear of missing out, limited time only. Offer expires in 72 hours. Something that prompts them to act, right? Because they're afraid they will miss out on this offer or this great deal or this tremendous opportunity. So I've talked a lot about how effective direct mail marketing is, but it's not short of its challenges, and the ones that it has really center around the fact that it is an offline marketing channel. So I can very easily gauge response from my digital marketing channels. I can utilize my Google Analytics. I can see how many hits I'm getting to my site from all of my different digital marketing ads. But am I really standing in somebody's living room and seeing if they're reading my direct mail piece and responding and going to my site? Well, no, it's an offline marketing channel. And I can't tell you how many times I've asked a client, how are you tracking your direct mail? And their answer to me is, we're not. We spray and pray and hope it gets it there. We're not really sure how to unmuddy the results of our web traffic and see what our attribution is to our direct mail. So we have a product, or there are digital technologies out there where you can actually track your mail, get peace of mind, ensure it's delivered to your audience, and you can even gauge and see how many people are actually coming to my site from my direct mail. So we keep hearing about integrating digital. This is something that has been around for quite some time, but people don't really know what that means. I'm running digital marketing. How exactly do I integrate digital into my direct mail campaign? Well, you can do that with a bunch of different technologies that you can specifically tailor and integrate them into your direct mail campaign. And by doing this, you typically can achieve around a 23 to 46% increase on what you would achieve from just a traditional direct mail campaign. And what's the reasoning for that? Well, although direct mail is a powerful and impactful tool, when we send out direct mail, we are just getting one response, just one, right? But if we integrate digital technologies into our direct mail campaign, we can deliver an additional 8 to 16 impressions, sometimes more, to that direct mail recipient that gives you a continuation of your delivery of messaging from your direct mail, but specifically to that direct mail recipient. Now, why do we want to get an additional 8 to 16 touches per direct mail recipient? Well, the reason for that is because 80% of sales occur statistically between the 8th and the 12th contact. Repetition and consistency. You have to touch your prospects numerous times in order to get that response or get that conversion. So utilize digital technologies to get you up specifically into the contact margins of conversion, and that's where you achieve around a 23 to 46% lift. We're utilizing a powerful tool such as direct mail to drive a response, and then we utilize digital to re-engage. But we also get to take advantage of other ancillary mail-centric technologies where we can get you additional touches. So the bottom line, I've talked a lot about direct mail, digital, this outperforms this works here, but all marketing channels have their advantages, powers, and it's really not about direct mail versus digital. It's about providing an omni-channel marketing experience where we're utilizing a direct marketing tactic to deliver as many impressions and messages as we can specifically to the person that we want business from, right? So the perfect marriage between direct mail and digital, where we can deliver the maximum amount of impressions and at one of the most cost-effective price points on the market. So how can we do this? Well, we want to utilize a suite of technologies that are geared towards specifically integrating into our direct mail. So I'm going to talk about some technologies that can be utilized where we can enhance the results from our direct mail. A technology that can be utilized is a list matching service on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram's owned by Facebook. So being mail-centric, we take the mailing list and we actually find the Facebook and Instagram accounts of the people on the mailing list. After we identify these people, we deliver the exact same message that's being delivered on the mail piece to that direct mail recipient. So how is this different from traditional social media marketing? Well, typically with digital or social media, I'm delivering a very broad and general message to a very broad and general audience. But remember, direct mail is a direct marketing tactic. I want to send a direct mail piece with a message for and to Joe Smith at 123 Sud Street. So with Social Match, we are delivering a specific message to Joe Smith at 123 Sud Street, but through his Facebook and Instagram accounts. We are also able to do this with our hypermail technology at a very cost-effective price point because we have access to wholesale pricing on digital. This is an existing service through Facebook and Instagram, so this is something that you guys can take advantage of outside of the hypermail product. With hypermail, we also integrate into our proprietary business analytics system on the back end that is geared towards getting you the maximum amount of impressions per direct mail recipient that showed the highest level of interest. But this is a technology that you guys can utilize to enhance your direct mail or your mailing list. Now, with the hypermail technology, I was talking about how important tracking is. And one of the features of this product is having access to a dashboard. And we actually show you how many accounts we reached, how many ads were displayed, and how many clicks. Mail tracking is a phenomenal service to take advantage of. USPS has a program called Inform Visibility, and there is mail tracking software available where you can actually track on a very granular per piece basis each individual direct mail piece that goes out. In our dashboard, we report the percentage of your mail that's been delivered, when certain quantities are projected to be delivered and confirmed as being delivered. And this is great data, you know, because if I know when my mail is going to hit, I can more appropriately time other marketing channels. I can, if I'm dealing with a staggered staff, I can make sure that all hands are on deck in the days following my direct mail being delivered so that they can filter all the leads coming in. And then I can take advantage of the granular per piece data. I can have my sales team pick up the phone and outflow to each individual direct mail recipient within 24, 48 hours of them receiving their mail piece. It is aggressive and it works. Hi, Mr. Cummins. This is Morgan DiGiorgio. I was just calling to follow up on the offer that we sent you. I wanted to know if you had any questions or if you put any consideration if this is something you'd like to take advantage of. Follow up after the direct mail recipients receive their mail piece. I've had clients that have done that and they have achieved around a 78% increase in conversion. You can also search and see, hey, I want to know, did John Smith get his mail? Because we usually get a very hefty donation from him every day or every year, and we haven't got his donation. I want to see, oh, he did get his mail piece. Let me call and see if he's contributing to our cause this year. Or he did not get his mail piece. Let me see if he's contributing to our cause this year. We also integrate with Google Maps, so we can see a street level view of where the mail piece is being delivered. And this gives you peace of mind with your list. You know, if I purchase a list with certain demographics, home values in excess of $1 million, I don't want to see my mail piece delivered to an apartment complex. Now, informed delivery is a fantastic ancillary mail-centric technology that's offered by the Postal Service. Everybody that is signed up for it in the morning gets either an email or a mobile notification that will tell them what is going to be in their mailbox at the end of the day. This technology has tremendous statistics, okay? People will think that they're going to see, you know, a grayscale image of their mail. But what we can do is embed a full color ride-along image that someone can click on and go over to your website. So not only are you getting another touch or an impression for your direct mail, you're also getting another opportunity to get someone to your site so that they can convert. There's over 30 million people signed up. Average open rate is 69% and a 7 to 8% click-through rate. Anybody that does email marketing knows that this is astronomical. To a house list, so the people that are waiting for your email that I was talking about before that are likely to engage, you will only achieve on average around an 18% open rate and around a 0.1% click-through rate on the app. These statistics are unbelievable. And the point is, if somebody on your list is signed up for informed delivery, you're going to get that other impression. You're going to get that engagement. Things we can report in our hypermail platform are number of emails sent, opened, and number of times ads were clicked. Now, I just want to show you a slide here, okay, because this is very interesting. You know, during COVID, you know, traditionally we see around a 7 to 8% click-through rate on the informed delivery ad. But during COVID, when, you know, people were all in quarantine and their only excitement they got was going out to their mailbox, the click-through rate actually increased and hovered around about 10.59%. I mean, that is really unbelievable. So a lot of exposure with this channel. And this is just what I was talking about here, the average open and click-through rates on email. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself. So here is some success stories for informed delivery, okay? One of our clients actually got a $5,000 donation by one of their donors clicking through on an informed delivery ad where they previously only gave $3,000. They were also getting a lot of compliments from the alumni about the informed delivery engagement, and they saw an increase in donations from the utilization of this channel. Now, during COVID, this is a campaign that added on digital, and with hypermail or integrating digital into their direct mail, they got 151 responses and $10,447 in donations. Without hypermail, they only got 68 responses and only generated about $4,953. And keep in mind, this is not the bulk of the data, because when we took the snapshot, we were only about halfway through the digital integration on the direct mail campaign. But if you look at these stats here, you can see how 6 days after the mail went out, the total ad displays, engagements, and leads they got to their site, 2 weeks out and 4 weeks out, 176,782 impressions, 799 people engaged with their digital marketing that enhanced their direct mail. Call tracking is a great feature. I strongly or highly encourage you to add a call tracking feature to a phone number on your website, your direct mail, any type of marketing channel that you're utilizing. Make sure that it is a call tracking feature where you are able to capture valuable data that you can utilize in your follow-up marketing strategy. So with this call tracking, we assign a local or a toll-free number that rings over to a line of your choosing, and then the call is recorded. But when someone calls in, you can see the phone number that they're calling in from, who they are, their address, what type of a number is it? Is it a mobile? What's their demographic data? This is fantastic, because you know what? That VP of sales that I've been trying to reach for 6 months, and every time I call the office, they say, oh, you know what, he's in a meeting, let me put you in his voicemail. Well, guess what? Everybody uses their cell phone right here to conduct business. And so when they pick up the phone and call me, and I capture Mr. VP of sales' cell phone number, guess what I'm going to be doing? Picking up the phone and calling him directly on his cell phone where I'm going to reach him, or sending him a text message. Hey, I've been trying to reach you. How can I get a hold of you? You can export this data via CSV for import into your CRM. Your sales team can pick up the phone and outflow just like that. You can aggregate out mobile numbers and engage in SMS or text marketing, or you can utilize Ringless voicemail. Ringless voicemail is not regulated. So you can drop in a little message into everybody's voicemail on their cell phone, and they think that they missed a call from you. It's instantaneous and it's cheap. So you can also aggregate out the cell numbers and do all the phone numbers and do individual calls. Don't put it into an auto dialer unless you run it through the do not call registry, and do not append email and put it into an email marketing CRM. Individual emails would be fine after you append an email to these channels. But you can see too in our dashboard how many leads you got from the people that responded by calling. So following up with the people that responded to your direct mail is so integral. Remember, 80% of sales occur between the 8th and the 12th contact. So if somebody hasn't responded to my direct mail, or clicked on my social match ad, or clicked on my informed delivery ad, I want to take my list. I want to target zip codes. I want to do keyword, key phrase overlay, and I want to try to drive the people on my list with a geo-targeted lookalike to my site through Google by utilizing my mailing list. And then for every single person that did respond and went to my site, I'm going to cookie them, and then I'm going to continue to deliver my messaging to them over and over and over again until they convert. This is very effective. People that are retargeted are 74% more likely to convert on your site. Things we report in our dashboard are how many people were following, how many ads are displayed, and how many times your ads are clicked. And we also want to follow up with the people that engaged through Facebook and Instagram. So we want to enhance your mailing list in the beginning to get you that continuation of messaging. But then I also want to follow up with the people that actually responded, because the people that responded are showing the highest level of interest. And so I want to continue to engage them until they actually convert. Now in our dashboard, we report how many people were following, how many times ads were displayed, and how many times the ads were clicked. And then last but not least is a lead match technology. Now, there are some other lead acquisition technologies on the market. However, they're very limiting. So a lot of them will search just via the IP address that you're pinging off of and give you that data, which I say is a maybe lead. It may or it may not be that person because the data is not very accurate if that's all you're searching against. Or even a lot of other platforms out there that I see will not give you a list at all. They'll say, hey, we can identify unique website visitors, and then we'll send a direct mail piece out for you, right? Well, with a lead match technology, when someone goes to your website, we are able to identify who they are by first searching via the IP address. But remember, not everybody pings off of an IP that's registered to them. At my office, I'm not registered to this IP. So we look into the unique device ID. My cell phone, that's registered to me. My work device isn't, or maybe my cell phone's not. Maybe I'm on my husband's plan and it's registered to him. So then we look at the cookies within the device. All the apps I have downloaded on my phone. I'm checking my personal email and personal bank account on my computer, the device, and everything's got my name and my contact information. We take all of that data and we ping it across a 300+ point patented match system, and we will pull out a 95% accurate residential address for you. We are building you one of the most viable mailing lists that there are. People that are going to your site and telling you they're interested, and then giving you data so that you can reach them with direct marketing at the right place 95% of the time. These are the people you want to be marketing to. This is the highest and best use of your marketing dollars. Then, after we identify who is going to your website, if you have added this onto a direct mail campaign, because you can utilize this technology in an isolated instance as well, but if you have added it to a mailing, we will tell you how many people responded from your direct mail. Well, I already know who's on my mailing list. Sure you do, but you don't know who actually responded or who's interested, because 96% of people are leaving your site without telling you that they are interested. So now these, say I identify 900 people to my site, that's who I want to mail to. And out of those 900, 179 of them are on my mailing list. This is who I want to append additional data, have my sales team pick up the phone and call, and I want to send a direct mail piece to, okay? These are the people that are target candidates for direct mail retargeting. You know who's really good at this is Wayfair. I can go on Wayfair's website, I can look at a rug, not buy it, and 48 hours later, I have a direct mail piece in my mailbox with a picture of that rug and a 20% off coupon. So when we tell you this 95% accurate residential address, we will also tell you the top 5 URLs that website visitor visited and average duration of time that they spent on the site, so that now you've got the right person at the right place, and now you specifically know what they're interested in, so you can send them a personalized direct mail piece. We can only give you address due to privacy restrictions because of how technical our product is. It is one part patented, one part patent pending, but once we have an address, we can append other data. We can get you first name, last name. We can get you email. We can get you phone number. But when you mail to these leads, we've been seeing around a 9 to a 19% response rate. That is unbelievable. For the matches, you'll get first name, last name, address, because we're just doing list verification. And you'll also see the top 5 URLs they visited and average duration of time spent. So this is pretty neat, right? Think about a direct mail campaign where you don't have the lead match technology, right? So looking at a dashboard where maybe I'm using, say, just call tracking, 5 calls. Yeah, I can't say I'd be very happy about that. If I was utilizing the call tracking feature to see what kind of a response I got, 5 calls on a 38,376 piece mailing list, very underwhelming, right? But because of Lead Match, I can see, oh, well, look at that. 945 people actually responded to my direct mail and went to my site. I feel a little bit better about that, right? Because how are people responding to my marketing? Whether it's direct mail, a radio commercial, a billboard, they are going to my website, but they are leaving without telling me that they're interested. So now I know they're interested. I can see attribution to my direct mail, and I know who to follow up with. So what is retargeted direct mail? Okay, the definition of it is sending custom mail pieces to customers or prospects that are actually engaging with me. So people that are actually on my website. 47% of marketing respondents said that retargeted direct mail increased conversion rates. And it's not surprising, because when you think that 65% of marketing is who you're marketing to people that are actually telling you they're interested is going to be very effective. And when you have a technology like Lead Match, where you can get that marketing into their hands 95% of the time at the right place, that's where you're really going to see an increase in your conversion. So an omni-channel marketing approach, okay, that's what we've been talking about today, right? Delivering the same message over and over again across multiple channels. It starts with direct mail. We get a response from our direct mail. We integrate with digital. We quantify and qualify the results, and then we re-engage with the targeted prospects with direct mail. This is the highest leading attribution marketing funnel, okay? Delivering, conveying the same message over and over again. You are going to get sick of your branding and your imagery before your prospects do. Don't change your logo. Don't change your branding. Don't change your imagery. Keep it the same. Triggering that recognition and delivering that same message across all channels is what drives results. So when you combine direct mail with digital, you can increase your response around 23 to 46%. That's amazing. When you look at direct mail as a standalone product and you see the type of response that you can achieve by integrating digital to achieve this type of lift is really tremendous. So diversifying your marketing, but taking advantage of the way that people respond and capitalizing upon that to integrate a really effective follow-up plan digitally is what is very effective. So, questions. I know that was a lot of information.
But that's why I like this session, because there's so much information. So Jen asks a good question, and this is the part that gets creepy, Jen. So Jen asks the question: if a visitor to your site does not have an account, basically they're a brand new unique visitor, are there ways to get their mailing address from their IP, or does this stuff only work if the users already have an account? And I know the answer to this, but you go ahead, Morgan.
So yeah, they do not have to be on your mailing list. We actually, the first thing we do is we just identify the unique website visitors. So the pixel actually identifies who they are and gives you the residential address for anybody that goes to your site for any reason. And then once we identify those people, we'll tell you who came from your mailing list. So you can use this product as an isolated product. We can put the lead match pixel on your website and then just give you this list of people that we can identify. We suggest mailing to them. I mean, a 9 to a 19% response rate, that's out of this world. But then append other data too, append phone number, pick up the phone and call them. But yeah, we can just identify unique website visitors. And like Mike said, very creepily, but it's very effective.
Creepy yet effective, I think, is like the best tagline for you.
Sure.
Any other questions? Jen, did that make sense?
Yes, What's the percent of people on the lead match you can actually identify? Is there like a success rate?
Yeah, so that's a good question. It really varies. But traditionally, what we see in terms of being able to identify people on the site, it hovers somewhere between 40 to 75% of web traffic. So it really varies. And that just really all depends upon the data we're able to acquire and then run it through, the patented algorithm system that ties into all the national databases. But I can't say that there's any real rhyme or reason. I actually just had a campaign that we ran yesterday we were reviewing the results, and we identified 85% of the web traffic. I mean, it was like the highest I've ever seen. So it just varies.
I imagine it gets better every year. Although
you are right about that.
Well, but maybe some of the new privacy laws are going to make it worse.
You never know. I mean, we stay abreast and on top of all those new privacy laws. The one thing, the question but just the first part where you said it gets better every year, that part's true, because the more data that we acquire, the better our match rate and the better our identification rate gets. But like the one main question we always get is about, well, what about CCPA, the Privacy Protection Act? People don't understand that all that says is that you have to give people an opportunity to request what information you have on file about them and ask for them to be deleted. That's all it says. There's nothing against acquiring it. You just have to succumb to a request to delete it. That's all. And we don't sell any of our data. Like we don't share it or sell it or anything like that. Most data companies that I've been involved with, like the one that I'm a partner in, the whole method to the madness is in the acquisition of the data, because there's value there, right? And you can sell it later. But that's not what this product is all about. We acquire it and then we give it to you and say, hey, here it's yours.
Morgan, how do you do A/B testing with this product? Would it blur any lines of what messaging is working and not? Because if you're doing it all the way throughout the process, how is the best way to track?
Sure. So there's a few ways you could do that, to keep it the most. I mean, for one, when you're running, say, a digital ad set, you can utilize something called UTM codes, where you can actually embed a tracker tool into the back of your end of your digital ad so that your Google Analytics will identify which ad is hitting your site if you're running multiple ad sets. But the way to really isolate it to run A/B is to utilize two different landing pages, because you could mail, direct mail campaign A to this landing page, direct mail campaign B to this landing page. This one's enhanced, this one's not, but you also put a lead match pixel and have it set to fire site-wide. Because when you think, that A/B, the two different landing pages are going to show you an increase in response, or hey, how many conversions did I get, or how many times did people come back to my site with hypermail or without it, or with digital or without it. But when you think about how people respond, which most people aren't going to put in ABC company / promo code 123. I'm going to Google and I'm going to end up on the main page. So you need that lead match pixel firing site wide, so that when people do that and just respond to the main site, you're capturing that attribution. And you can see, hey, the people from this list responded, maybe not to the landing page. And that's the best way that you would do that, Mike.
Hey, Morgan, this is Adam. Great presentation. Real quick question on that last point you made there. Within lead match, can we customize the attribution window to say, 14 days or 30 days before sending back the conversion data, or customize the attribution itself to say, if it touched it at any point in this window, or only last touch, or only first touch?
Yeah, so we do have a filtration system when you go to purchase the leads. The filters that we have available at this point in time are, you can pin down a date and time. So like if you only wanted to purchase your leads and matches for the last, 7 days, month, whatever, you can do that. And then we also allow you to filter by geolocation. So maybe you only want to purchase leads in your city, your state, you can do that as well. we're always improving this product. So we're looking at down the road, allowing you to purchase by web page and a lot of other functionality. But right now, those are the filters that we allow for you to purchase the leads.
Got it. Thanks.
Is this mostly US or is there international stuff happening as well?
Yeah, so this is only a US-based product right now, and that's because it's a direct mail product, and the way that the postal systems work in other countries are completely different than they are here. We do have a Canada partner, but they opt out of mail tracking, informed delivery, and lead match because we just don't integrate with their postal system. We're always looking for people abroad that want to buy a license and build this out for their country. I mean, we're definitely open to that. But right now it's primarily a US-based product, and also because of GDOP and all of the opt-in policies as far as digital marketing goes outside of the US, it brings extreme limitations on that type of digital marketing as well. Good question.
So I'm trying to use Cuddle Clones, Jennifer and Adam's company, as like an example of how they could potentially use this. And where I always get, because this is almost a chicken or the egg kind of situation, right? Like, it's like, how do they build out that perfect mailing list of pet owners that they can target them throughout every channel? Could they use, like, so they have, their Instagram account has a lot of like pet memes. And I would assume if you follow their or engage with their pet memes that you probably have a pet at home. So by engaging in their Instagram account, does that then put them on the list of the mailer?
So if they have the lead match pixel on their site, and people click on their Instagram ad and it drives them to their website, then yes, they'd be building up a list of those people that were engaging. And that's why it's so effective, because you really are building a list of people that are telling you that they're interested. I'm not, if I don't own a pet, I'm not clicking through on a pet ad, unless I'm really, really bored. I mean, or I'm not searching on a pet product website.
Or you want a pet, you want a pet really bad.
Sure. So maybe you're about to have a pet. So now maybe I'm putting, your products and services in my mind for a month down the road, which is why a continuation of your messaging is important, because maybe I don't have an immediate need for it right this second, but maybe 60 days from now I do.
Yeah, and just, I know we're up against the clock here. Mike, just one thing that I had thought throughout, and you had thought this before, but I do like the lead match pixel definitely is an element that I had not considered to capture that web ID prior. But even before that, I think the biggest utilization of direct mail for us would be, we already have a very robust database of customers that we pretty much only do through digital. So in any kind of warm or retargeting campaign right out of the gate, we'd have a pretty good audience to go after in direct mail, especially if they've recently visited. But even like in recapturing campaigns, so if they've purchased in the last so many months or whatever, we could section those off and give them a new offer.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Absolutely, you can utilize it, for ancillary product or service offerings as well.
Any other questions? Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Morgan. This is, like I said, this is, I saw this session in February and just knew right away when I thought Sales Week that this needed to be included because of how effective omnichannel can be. And when you integrate them, the power is just amplified beyond belief. And this product especially shows that. I'm going to hit stop on the recording.